Hello, Texans. I'm Susana, and this is the Susana Gibb Show. This is an off week of our podcast of interviewing guests. The beauty of doing podcasts is it's kind of like throwing spaghetti at the wall. You just throw it and see what sticks, and nobody's really here to tell us what not to do. So this is our midweek, off week recess. Just a break from the grind, the go. Just a 10-minute recess to reset. This podcast is sponsored by Gibb Insurance Services. Please go to gibbagencydallas.com to connect with us, get some quotes, read the blog, see past episodes, lots of fun things there for you. So on this podcast, we talk with a lot of our guests about how they do what they do and how they stay positive, right? Like we all want to be happy and calm and peaceful, but it's kind of a lot of work. At least for me, it is. Like I have a mantra in the morning that unless I've had coffee, it's just too early in the day to decide what kind of day it's going to be. Let's just give the day a hot minute to breathe. And I think we collectively are doing a lot, especially post-COVID, because like we can, right? We can get out and do everything that we want. So we have a career, a personal life. Many of us are juggling families with multiple children and their schedules. And on top of managing our own happy, calm, and peaceful lives, we are managing theirs too. And many of us are managing our parents now too. So how do we do all that? What do people do about it? So that's what the purpose of this mini podcast episode is about. And I had this idea even before last week. And I had something big happen to me last week, and I just want to share because it scared the crap out of me. So I'm leaving the office and I'm driving out to the airport to pick up my brother. I'm on 635 going west past Coit, but before I hit Hillcrest. So, there's a lot happening there. It's a busy section of 635 and I'm in the right lane and I'm driving along and the car in front of me slams on their brakes. And I, of course, slam on my brakes. And about that time, I see why. And there's a little black kitten. And it's darting from the side of the road into the right lane and back out. Like maybe it was chasing a bug initially, but then it sees the car coming. And so, I brake hard. I think one of the last things I thought of was, oh my God, what am I going to do about that little black kitten? And then smash. The force of the impact is how you know it's going to be bad. And it's really loud, that metal crunch. And the impact is so shocking. My head hits the headrest. My car lurches forward to the left at what feels like a right angle. I was somewhat convinced in this process that I had been hit again because my car corrected back to the right. I went all the way from the far right lane to the far left lane and landed in the left median between the concrete barrier and the left lane. And it felt like I had been pushed midway. So don't tell anybody, but I kind of feel like my guardian angel was pushing me. I know I can explain this scientifically, right? That when I brake for the car in front of me, my foot's on the brake, right? But then when I'm hit from behind, I take my foot off the brake and my car has a little bit of energy and it lurches forward. But here's the thing. I don't think it really hurts me to think guardian angels are helping me, like guiding me. Maybe it actually helps. Human beings are terrible at accepting help. When I finally came to rest on that inside left lane, and OnStar is now talking to me, which I love OnStar. They're my favorite. I looked back and I saw there's 4 cars behind me and I thought, oh my God, this is going to be so bad. And I really, truly couldn't believe that I wasn't upside down. But the 4 cars behind me were just people who had stopped. They were other guardian angels. He came to knock on my window. I'm trying to talk to him and OnStar. He's like, are you okay? But they weren't even part of the accident. I'm so grateful those people had stopped. And, my daughter and I were talking about this because I was like, it's interesting trying to talk about faith with your kids because I want them to come to their own decisions. But she was saying how she loves listening to the 911 calls of people who've been in terrible accidents, and the people tell the 911 operators about the people who helped pull them from the car, and there's nobody there. So it's like, does the human brain invent these guardian angels in the time of great trauma? But again, it doesn't hurt me to think that these helpers, guardian angels, spirit guides, whatever, are around and there to help. At least I don't think so. Of course, the night of the accident, from about 3 until 6 in the morning, I revisited the whole thing over and over like some cliche movie. Because of course you're like, what could I have done differently? What would I, if I had swerved, if I had, what did I do wrong? How could I have done differently? Did I do anything wrong? And, the only thing I came up with really, like, I don't think that I did anything incorrect, but I did notice something. Even though I wasn't speeding or late, I always feel rushed when I drive. I rush to pick up my kids. I rush to get my kids to practice. I rush home. I rush to get through traffic. I rush to work because everything is so busy. It's so go, go, go. What happens if I don't rush? What if I just give myself 10 minutes? 10 minutes extra. If I show up early, I have 10 minutes to read my book or I have time for myself. If I need those 10 minutes and then I eat it up in traffic, that's fine, but I'm not late. But a gift could be if I just give them to myself. So I invite you to just take 10 minutes. 10 minutes in a day is nothing. It's just 10 minutes. I'm waiting in line at Starbucks for that long. So again, I invite you to just take 10. Maybe you give yourself 10 minutes when you're driving somewhere. Maybe you give yourself 10 minutes in the car before you go into work, or 10 minutes before you go into the house when you get home from the end of the day. 10 minutes in bed before the snooze alarm goes off again. 10 minutes to sit and stare at nothing. 10 minutes to sit against a tree and just breathe. So I got to say, I've been doing it this past week, and it's kind of nice. I kind of like it. It's definitely, I have to remind myself. I'm like, okay, I get in the car. What am I doing? Where am I going? Check my maps, shut the garage. Okay. You've got 10 minutes. You've got time to do all of those things once, one at a time versus doing them all at the same time. And I like it. It's working for me. So if you try the Just Take 10, let me know how it goes. And let me know what you think about this little podcast, Recess. If we do it again, this coming week, we have Sharonda. She's the lady detective, and she's always so fun. She's going to teach us how to tail people. Not that anybody needs to know, but I like knowing stuff like that. It's my inner kid. Anyway, the week after Sharonda, we might do the follow-up of what I just feel like there was the first week of being completely freaked out from my accident, and then how that has changed since then, on top of the Just Take 10. So come back next week, come back in 2 weeks. Connect with us at gibbagencydallas.com. We would love to hear from you, and we'll see you next week.